Hi, good afternoon. It's Monica here today, and I am live with my dear friend, Dr. Judy Ciasto, and our topic today is doctors don't need vitamins. So if you're somebody that's skeptical about whether you need to take a multivitamin, maybe you believe that you get all the nutrients that you need in your diet, or maybe your doctor has even told you that you don't need to take vitamins, or maybe they've even told you, like, it doesn't matter what brand you buy. You could buy Olay vitamins at the drugstore, and you don't need to spend a lot of money on a fancy multivitamin. If you're really skeptical, if any of those things ring true for you, stay tuned, because I think you're going to be interested in what we have to say today. And before we get started, Dr. Judy's going to share her story about her experience with multivitamins. But before we get started, we're going to do a little experiment today. I hope you can see it. We have like 2 bowls here of water lined up. And this isn't an absolutely scientific experiment, but it kind of gives you an idea. I think it'll be a little bit interesting and thought-provoking. So Dr. Judy, tell us what you're doing there.
Okay, so I'm taking the Olay vitamin, and I'm putting that in water. And then I'm going to put one of our Shaklee Vitally, one of the ones I started with, in the other cup. And what we want to watch for is how long it takes them to dissolve and how they dissolve.
That's good.
Okay.
So tell us, Dr. Judy, tell us your story about what your life was like before you discovered Vitally.
Okay, so about 20 years ago, I was not taking any vitamins. I didn't really know about Shaklee or vitamins. And somebody approached me and said, "Oh, you're a doctor, don't you take vitamins?" And I said, "Of course not." I said, "By definition, doctors do not need vitamins." And I was very rude, and I said, "Give me my soap and leave me alone." I was buying Shaklee's Basic Age. And she did, but then later I learned from her that I could get some free products if I listened to her tapes. And I figured that I could get a lot of free products that way and perhaps never have to go back to see her. And so I started listening to the tapes, and what I heard was that the vitamins were guaranteed. If you took them and you didn't feel better, you got your money back. And I had never heard of a patient feeling better just from a multiple vitamin, or a company letting you return an empty bottle. And so I thought, this is ridiculous. There is no way they can say this. I'm going to show them that they're wrong. And so I bought the Vitally, actually brought the smaller bottle of the multivitamin, and started taking it. And in 2 days, I could tell that I had more energy. And the reason that I could tell is I used to take a nap every day. Even with 8 hours of sleep, I still took my nap. And once I started the Vitally, in 2 days, I stopped taking naps. I was so excited that I went back to this person and I picked up a bottle of vitamins and I said, "These are like gold." I said, "How come you didn't tell me this?" And she was very polite and didn't say anything. So that's kind of my story in a nutshell.
I love Dr. Judy's story because I think there's a whole lot of skeptical people out there that believe they don't need to take supplements. So Dr. Judy, tell me a little bit more about what you're eating in your napping days, because a lot of people, they try to eat well and they think, "Oh, I'm getting all the nutrients that I need in my diet." So tell us about what your diet looked like in your napping days.
So I'm vegetarian. I've been vegetarian since I was in medical school, and but I also eat very well. So I was eating organically grown food from the CSAs in Madison, and I really felt like I was eating better than most people. And so I was really surprised, and what I realized, there was something in the vitamins that was not in my diet. And it should keep going.
Well, I remember you telling me specifically that you thought it was the B vitamins that were in
Correct.
the Vitally
Right.
that might have made a difference.
Yes.
So tell us
Yeah.
what B vitamins do for you.
So B vitamins actually help you with energy and with alertness, and that was my problem. It wasn't that I wasn't getting enough sleep or that I was sleep deprived. It was that I was sleepy and not alert, and the B complex really helped that. There are 8 B vitamins, and biotin is very, very expensive, so a lot of companies leave it out. Shaklee puts it in at 100% with the rest, and so you use them all the way you're supposed to, and it really makes a big difference. And also the Shaklee vitamins dissolve, and we're going to be talking about that pretty soon.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about more about your lifestyle, what kinds of exercise you do, and other activities that you were involved with, and if you noticed any difference before or after.
So a couple of things I noticed pretty quickly when I started the vitamins. First of all, I didn't get sick as often. So if I had a cold before Shaklee, it would last forever. And once I started taking the vitamins, that went away, and a cold would go away. If I increased some of the other immune products, then the cold sometimes wouldn't even come. So it was really nice. But one thing I noticed is that I used to bike. Oh, I still bike quite often, and at one point I was biking 100 miles a week. And I was so tired, and I was biking so that I wouldn't be tired, and I was also needing to eat a lot. And even though I was biking that much, I never felt like I got any faster or better at it. And once I started the Vital E that summer, when I started biking, all of a sudden the more I biked, the better, faster I got, which was very, very unusual for me. And I attribute that to the nutrition I was getting from the vitamins, which I wasn't getting before that.
Yeah. So, so we have our little experiment going on here. I think we need to give it a little bit more time, but we can start to see that the Vital E is starting to break down, and this other pink one is kind of laying there at the bottom of the cup. But we'll show you a close-up in a little bit. But tell us a little bit about, why, what's the difference here? Why can't I just go buy something at the store?
Right.
And what is this gonna?
Right. So
why is it different?
Right. So Shaklee uses organically grown food for their vitamins. So there's nothing synthetic in there. A lot of other companies use synthetic products for their vitamins. So you're getting what a scientist thinks you need, not what we need in nature. And also because they're synthetic, they don't necessarily dissolve, which we're going to show you that. And so you're not really getting anything like your body's not absorbing it, so no matter how cheap it is, you're still wasting that money. So that's really, really important to know about. Shaklee does quality control on all of their products. They do over 100,000 quality control tests a year on their products, and they test for contaminants, for lead, for pesticides, and if they find that in their raw materials, they don't use it. They send it back to the company. So they're very, very fussy, and they make sure that every tablet of Shaklee products is exactly the same in their quality and their purity. Whatever on the bottle is guaranteed on that label to be in each tablet, and that's what Shaklee stands for, and that's really, really important to get a high quality vitamin.
I remember how baffled and just dismayed I was when I read an article some years ago about a study where FDA had actually done testing on a variety of multivitamins for women and children, and they found lead in most of the brands that you would find in the marketplace. So I can guarantee you that you won't find any lead in the Vital E, which gives me a lot of confidence recommending the products to people. So I'm not going to try to take the camera off the tripod there, so I'm going to try to give you a little bit of a close-up look. This is our Vital E, and you can see it's kind of orange and green, and it's starting to break down in the little bowl there. And this is our oil of Olay multivitamin, the pink one. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of like a little rock in the bottom of the bowl. So we're going to let that go for just a couple more minutes, and then come back to that. So tell us about the, is this going to cost me a lot of money? A lot of people are on a budget. But a lot of people also have health goals, especially here at the beginning of the year in January. You might have a goal to exercise more, and you can't find that you have enough energy. So if your health is something that you value and you want to feel more vibrant this year and you wanted to start on Vital E, tell us a little bit about what it's going to mean to my pocketbook.
So it breaks down that the Vital E is about 35 cents a day is how much it would cost you. So It's pretty inexpensive, I would say. And what I generally tell people is that you can get a multiple vitamin for much more money than Shaklee's, and you can get multiple vitamins for much less money than Shaklee's, but you will never get one that has better quality, whether you pay more or less. But 35 cents a day is pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
They're, you know,
It comes out to, somewhere between $10 to $11 a month, depending
Right.
on whether you start with a large bottle or a small bottle. Or if you start with the large bottle, which is what we have here, it costs between $10 and $11 a month. And so if you think about one sandwich that you buy when you go out for lunch, if you're willing to go out for lunch one less time per month, you could put Vital E into your routine, and you'd probably feel better, have more energy, and know that you're feeding all those cells in your body. I'm going to go get a little spoon so I can stir that up and show you what's happened with our experiment so far. Why don't you tell them about the dosage?
Sure. Or should I tell them about the other kinds too?
Yeah, well, tell them about how many you take a day and all
Okay,
that.
so with the Vital E, it's 2 a day, and that will give you 100% of your daily requirement of nutrients for most of the nutrients on there, and you can take them both together, or you could split them twice a day.
Yeah, and so this is our Vital E. I don't know how many minutes we've been going so far, but you can see it's like almost totally broken down. I'm going to stir it up here, and we did this a little while ago as a test, and I've been talking to some people lately that say, oh, they have trouble swallowing, so I told this one guy, well, you can actually dissolve it, and so I wanted to see what it would taste like. It really didn't taste too bad. So if there's somebody in your family that has a difficulty swallowing, like clockwork, this Vital E is going to break down in about 10 minutes. And, the environment in your stomach is not really
Right,
like a glass of
right,
water,
sure.
but we're just using this as a kind of, a visual to get you oriented to what might happen. And so there's nothing left of that tablet now. It's just all this pretty orange liquid. And then, so the environment in your stomach is more acid, right?
Right, you're right. It's more acid. So if it breaks down in water, it will definitely break down in the acid environment.
And then this is our oil of Olay vitamin. I'm hoping that you can still see that. It's like a little rock down there in the bottom. And I'm going to pick it up here, and I think you can sort of see that. Yeah, and I'm going to show you. It's still like this little rock. It is not dissolving at all. And there's actually a good possibility it could travel all the way through your GI tract and out the other end and never break down. So we have the advantage of the Vital E breaking down, actually providing nutrients to the cells in your body, and it coming from an all-natural source. And then, you kind of get what you pay for. I mean,
Exactly,
why would you
right.
bother? We actually have a research
Right.
study that shows that in some cases, people that took somebody else's multivitamin were like
Not
sicker
as
than the
healthy,
people that didn't take anything.
Right,
So
right.
in some cases, you may be better off to take nothing rather than take brand X. So tell us about one of the cool things is if you're over 50 like us, we have a Vital E Gold. And that's formulated a little bit differently.
Right. So the vitamin gold has a little extra vitamin D, vitamin E in it because you absorb less as you get older. So there's more in there. And it also comes with or without vitamin K. In case you're on Coumadin, you wouldn't want the vitamin K in there. And it also has CoQ10 in it, I believe, or CoQ Heart. So that's another product that you need as you get older. And then we have our kids multivitamin, our Incredivites, and this is for children's chewable, and it has lactoferrin in it that helps with their immune system. So that's
This was
important.
my sampler, and it's a little bit old. so they look kind of funky.
Yeah.
But it you know, again, if you're buying the name brand kids vitamins, there were tons of on the list that I mentioned in that study earlier that had lead in them. So again, you may be better off to give your kids nothing than to give them the stuff you're going to buy at the store. But very much worthwhile. And if you get them started at a young age, they're not as sweet as the store brands, but there's plenty of kids that gobble them up and really like them and know that you're, especially this time of year when kids are getting sick. Oh, do you want to talk about that a little bit? I could tell my story too, but
about CJ?
About not getting sick.
Oh, right.
Isn't that what we all want in January?
Right. Well, yeah, I kind of mentioned that. Yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah, right. And then so this one is our Vitally with Iron, and this is for women of childbearing age. And Shaklee recently upgraded it so that it contains more iodine and more folic acid. So it actually can be a prenatal vitamin, can also be used during conception and postnatally during breastfeeding or any time actually in a woman's life. So that's a cool feature of that one. And then of course we have our multivitamin without iron for men and women who do not need the extra iron.
Okay, great. Okay. And so one of the things that I love about having Dr. Judy as part of my Shaklee team is her expertise, because I don't have those fancy initials behind my name. So you can see if you have particular health needs, she's actually available via one of our closed Facebook groups to chat with you or even set up a phone consultation with you. And what we like to do in Shaklee is build a long-term relationship with people that value their health, want to be healthy, want to have more energy, and we do that through our membership program. And so if you are intrigued by Vitally, we actually have like a family pack we could set you up with that would come with a lifetime 15% discount. And this month we also have a free shipping offer for you. So thanks for watching, and please reach out to Dr. Judy or to me, and we'd love to have you join our kind of support group on Facebook and one of our closed Facebook groups. And see you next time.